Tonight across the southeast, desperation is growing as the death toll hits at least 150 people across 6 states killed due to Hurricane Helene. And that number is expected to rise as recovery crews comb through floods and debris in the storm's hard-hit areas. Just in the past 24 hours, the Red Cross has received 3,000 new requests from people looking for missing loved ones. In western North Carolina, the scene is described as post-apocalyptic. Entire communities have been wiped off the map, replaced by mud or floodwaters. The sheer devastation is overwhelming to residents who live in the impact zone.
It's heartbreaking. There's no words that can describe what you see and what you feel.
The need for basic supplies like food and fresh water is hitting crisis levels, but the destruction is so great in some areas that emergency workers must use whatever means possible, helicopters, even pack mules, to get critical aid to those stranded in remote areas. President Biden announced today he will fly to the region tomorrow and take an aerial tour to get a first-hand look at the destruction. Vice President Kamala Harris will travel to Georgia to assess the damage there. This, as we learned tonight, just how astronomical the storm rains were. An unprecedented 40 trillion gallons of water fell across the southeast last week. That's the equivalent of 60 million Olympic-sized pools, or the Dallas Cowboys Stadium filled to the brim 51,000 times. But despite all that water falling from the sky, fresh drinking water on the ground is in short supply, forcing many to take desperate measures, filling empty jugs with the muddy water from streams that are now flowing, it seems, everywhere. For more on how people are coping, let's go to Brooke Shafer, who's live outside Asheville, North Carolina, which has been particularly hard hit. Brooke, how are people doing there?
Well, Elizabeth, surprisingly so, I can tell you there is so much resilience in this community, and that's really saying a lot when you look at the destruction, the devastation in this town. There are roads that have been washed away, cars that are still stacked on top of each other. Now, there are some places to find food and water, but what they don't have here is gas, power, or cell service, and there's no timeline on when those things will come back. Throughout the afternoon, Elizabeth, we have seen helicopters in the air continuing search and rescue. But again, without things like cell phone service and with so many blocked roads, there's still no official number on people who might be missing. Still, though, we have heard stories from people who have survived, harrowing stories at that. Moments ago, I spoke with a woman who in Spanish told me her home was washed away in the storm. She said it's gone, like it was never even there to begin with. I just spoke with another woman who told me she feels lucky that her house is still standing, but she said the town that she loves and lives in is now unrecognizable. As of today, we know the death toll has now climbed to roughly 150 people across the southeast. Moments ago, local officials saying about 57 of those deaths have been from right here in this county, which includes hard-hit Asheville and Swannanoa, North Carolina. Elizabeth?
All right, Brooke Shafer reporting live from hard-hit North Carolina. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.